Hello everybody, what is up? I am the Supersonic Coder. My name is Shravas and currently I am in the code.org website and I'm going to be creating today one ball which moves anywhere I want just by using my arrow keys. First things first, I'm going to introduce you something called a sprite. A sprite object is stored in a variable which is var. Let's take that and put it outside the function draw. Remember, anything related to the sprite and the appearances of the sprite lie outside the function draw. Now I want to name it. Let's name it ball. This is x. X going sideways, it increases every time. The more you go right, it increases. This is y. Y is vertical. It increases every time you go down. So if I want to create it as ball and I want it in the exact center, that's somewhere here. This is the center. And I want a size, let's make it 10. That's the breadth. This is the breadth and this is the length. So first breadth, then first length. So it's x, y, breadth and length. Let's make it 10. And always remember, whenever you are drawing a sprite, you call this drawing a sprite, you are supposed to put this inside the function draw because it's drawing the sprite. Now if I run it, I see a cute little square ball here. Let's reset this and continue. I want to give it some background and I want to give it some color. So for color, I scroll down right here and I see something called sprite.shapeColor. Now remember, do not keep it as sprite because that's nothing. The sprite name is ball. I want it to be red, so whatever the parameters are, you keep them in double quotes. And now if I run it, there you go. Now I want the background, but first let's do something like when I'm supposed to press the up arrow button, that's exactly when it should go up. So another word for when in computer language is if. So if I take if and place it above the draw sprite, because it will not draw the sprite if I don't put it above here. If your up arrow is pressed, for a key that is pressed, you say key down because you're literally pushing the key down. And if your key down is up, you want to make its velocity. Now there is velocity x, so that if it is minus something, then it will go this side. If it's plus something, it goes this side. If it is velocity y and it's plus something, it will go down, and minus something, it goes up. It's pretty common sense because you see it increases and decreases in their respective positions, angles. So let's say our sprite.velocity y and sprite.velocity x. Now our sprite is ball. Remember, never forget to rename the sprite to the ball. In fact, it allows you it even selects it for you to try and type it again. Velocity x is 0. If both parameters are filled, that's only when it will move diagonally. So in half a millisecond, it will go this much, this much, this much, this much. It will go very diagonally. So I want it to be 0 because it is going up. Remember, when it's going up, it decreases. So I want to decrease it, and I want also a proper speed. Per half a second, it should move these many pixels. Let's say -4. Now let us run this. Okay. Oh, wait, what? Wait, it's just supposed to move. Now the precise reason why I was first emphasizing on the background is simply for that every pixel it moves, the ball, the sprite, it will overlap, it will make another picture of itself. So now I want the background. Do not keep it inside the if loop. That's some mistake people do. I like the red on yellow, so let's make it yellow. And now let's run it. There you go. There you go. Now let's do this. I have an option of show text. It really saves time. You can copy and paste and all. So let's copy and let's paste. Let's paste. Let's paste. Now if your key up is down, and if your key up is left, and if your key up is right. Now this was going up and it became -4. You want it to go down, so it will be +4 because it increases. You want to go left, velocity y will become 0, but x is what matters. So this is going left, it decreases. Let's say -4. This remains 0 and this becomes 4. Now let's go for show blocks in convenience wise and let's run this. Congratulations, now we have a ball which moves anywhere according to our command. Now next thing what I want to do is, I notice this goes off the screen. I don't want that to happen. So let's take something called create edge sprites. Create edge sprites ensures that when I give a command saying that just don't go off the edge, this will tell that command that listen to what the command is, listen to it, implement it, because I am there, I am saying so. Now I wanted to bounce off the edges, so let's take these and let's put 4 of them because there are 4 edges. Our sprite is the ball, so we'll put ball on all 4 sides, and our target first is top edge. Remember, any two words, whether naming a variable, whether naming a target, they will not be separated by a space, but the second word will begin with okay, this is bottom edge. This, it will begin with a capital letter. This is bottom edge. There, you see the mistake? Oh, this is bottom edge, bottom edge. This is our left edge, and let's take this out and let's make it right edge. Now let's run it and let's see. Okay, it does not go off the screen. This is nice. This is very nice. And just on all sides a sort of rain check. Ah, there you go. Perfect. Now I want to create some sort of obstacle game and all. So let's create 3 more variables. 1, 2 and 3. 2 will be obstacles which will create a thin path for the ball to go through, and 1 will be a paddle which the ball has to push, and then it will send a text saying you win. Now I want this to be, let's say 90 and let's say 70. I have done this sort of thing, so I have the experience. I want it to be the center of the sprite is where it's going to be, the x and y is going to be implemented. And let's make this a nice little 150 and this 10. 150 is the breadth and 10 is the length. If I run this, it shows me, whoa, right, adding this would have made the mistake. So let's reset this. Let's add everything. Now we'll make this, let's say 270. This, let's continue 70 only because y remains the same. I want them to be in the same line. Let's make this 240, not 240, 225, and let's make this 10. Let's keep the target something simple like, let's say 300, and the x, that was the x, so 300 will lie somewhere here, and y I want it to be 30, so let's make it 30. And since it's a paddle, not an obstacle, length will remain like this. The breadth will however reduce. Now if I run it, you have something like, oh, overlapping. This is overlapping, it's not 1, and this is the paddle here. Let's adjust this. You want your 90 to become something like, let's say 80. If I reset and run, okay, fine, one more try, 70, and let's say reset and let's say run. Okay, now I can increase my x here. Let's make it 300. Oh, became little too much. So let's say 280. Ah, very nice. Now just we'll increase the breadth to 230. Reset and run. And increase this to 285. There is a lot of intricacy in all this, but you managed to get it anyway. Let's reduce our x to 20. and let's say okay, now I want to color them, so I'll quickly color them by using the sprite.shape color. Okay, sprite.shape color, sprite.shape color, and sprite.shape color. Now our sprites are different. This sprite is the obstacle 1, this sprite is our obstacle 2, and this sprite is our obstacle 3. Now I want to give them a color, so let's obstacles become green. I'm fascinated with these colors. On a yellow background you have, oh okay, on the yellow background you have a blue target, green obstacles, and some black mega targets, and the red sprite. So if I run it, oops, they don't realize what obstacle 3 is. There you go. Common, but you can't make too many of these mistakes. Let's reset and run it. There you go. We have something that you're supposed to pass through this tunnel. You're supposed to bounce this off the screen. However, I have not made that feature yet. So now let's go to show text because it makes life simpler in other terms. So let's say, let's drag an if loop. You can do that, If I drag this if loop here, if, let's go to sprites and let's say ball dot collide. If ball dot, let's make our sprite ball dot collide, target is our obstacle 1, and let's do something called OR. This is the logical OR operator with 2 standing bars, and let's say ball, sprite is our ball dot collide, obstacle 2. Now let's see, if you were to put the semicolon here, will that make life simpler? Show blocks. There's the problem. Now I am not allowed to put anywhere this. So if I remove this, there you go. Now if I show blocks, you go here and you see this. And if that happens, I want it to go back to its original position, the ball. So the X position and the Y position decides. So let's make it ball and make this ball and makes this 200. Make this 200. Let's reset and run it. There you go. Let's say, oops, if I even manage to hit it, it will come back. Now let's create that if. Now if the target, now if the target dot x and target dot y is different. So if the target dot x, I have to go here, and the target of y actually matters. If you look at it, if target dot y is less than 0, then I go to show blocks. If the sprite dot y is less than 0, so if it is less than 0, the sprite, or sprite dot x, means the balls x and y, the balls x and y return to 200. Oh, the ball stops moving. Let's go to drawing. Let's go to sprites only. Sprite dot velocity x and sprite dot velocity y. The ball stops moving. Okay, now let's reset and run it. What sprite is exactly? If the target dot y, let's reset and run it now. Let's see. And there's another bug. Now I will be teaching you what bugs are next class. So we will continue this in the next video, and I'll also start a new game in the next video. Till then, everybody take care and bye bye. This was Supersonic Coder and Shravas out.